Hey guys, this is DFD, aka Dark Frozen Depths, back with some more Kamihime project. There's a few things I want to cover in this video. Some are important, others you may have overlooked, and then there's one extra thing I don't have to show, but I'm going to anyways. First, let's start off with some stuff that you may not have known. Now, you know when you actually go and use your teams and whatnot, the Eidolons you have set for your main can be used as friend Eidolons for other players. Some may have overlooked that you can set them in your profile settings, so that's one thing to know about. If you don't even use this, then this won't even apply to you because it'll just go off of what's set on your teams, which may or may not influence it, to be quite honest. But this is the main thing as to why I have to point this out. Now, as you can see, I have a good variety of Eidolons across all of these. Echidna, who's in the dark slot, can even be used for the fire one. And I can even put Vlad across all of them if I really wanted to. But I tried to get the best ones I had for each element. Now, that's the key word, best ones I have for each element, because some people haven't exactly done this. Now, it is a little bit excusable if you don't either A, have that many Eidolons since you're just starting off, and then on top of that, you're most likely to not know what you're doing if you are a newer player, or B, in the case of the Phantom Element one, you just don't have any Eidolon really to fit there, although we'll get to that a little bit later. But what I did see is some that did some weird setups with this where, say for instance, they had Behemoth, who deals with wind, light, and I do believe thunder, but she's set in the fire element slot where she has nothing to do with that element. Yeah, some people have done that. Other examples would include something like having Echidna in the water section, or having, say, St. Nicholas in the wind section, something like that. That's where I had to start questioning things, because that's obviously a bad move. First off, what a lot of people don't really pay attention to, whether they know it or not, when your Eidolons get picked, you get gems for that. And it isn't much, but those do add up over time. But the other thing is the fact that it is kind of ruining other people's faith in you if you do try to screw that up a little bit, so you might want to pay attention. Because, quite frankly, if I'm trying to get an Eidolon and whatnot, and it's in the wrong section, I'm not really going to worry about that. Maybe if it's 100% Eidolon, I might note it down, but that's the whole thing with that. Now, what I can suggest, of course, match it, like, pay attention to your main Eidolon descriptions. So, obviously, say for Echidna, she boosts fire and dark. Don't stick her anywhere but fire and dark. That's just obvious. Phantom Elements where it's tricky, because generally Phantom Element, despite its description, it doesn't lean towards Phantom Element. All the Phantom Element stuff leans towards every element. It even does that in game because, for instance, every element takes more damage from Phantom enemies, but they also deal more damage to Phantom enemies, so weakness damage is always applied. That's the whole thing with Phantom Element. So, what I can suggest for that, if you don't have any specific Eidolons to put in Phantom Element that will help every other one, try doing some that helps multiple. The more the better. Or even some, like, say, we all start off with SR versions of Diablos. She can easily be a Phantom Element Eidolon, because she'll boost the attack power and HP across the board. So, other good ideas, I've seen this before. Somebody put Anzu in there, because Anzu is a Thunder Eidolon that just boosts drop right like item drop rate across the board. That's another good idea, especially since Vlad is another Idolin that increases drop rate, but she'll also increase elemental attack for everybody, regardless of element. Other interesting setups would be, say, Menghuo, who's another Thunder element Idolin. She came from an event. She'll boost the HP of everybody, period, point blank, and up to 40% too. It's a very substantial amount. There's also a light element Idolin that came from an event, and that event's limited too, so it's probably not rerunning ever. So if you missed it, you missed it. But she boosts HP by a little bit and then boosts double attack rate across the board. That's what I would suggest for Phantom Element. Idolins like that. But even if you don't want to put them, try to put ones that help out multiple elements. Like Behemoth, like I mentioned, would be decent in Phantom Element, because she'll cover 3 out of the 6 elements. Just something I wanted to go over, because it's happened multiple times. So just pay attention to what you do, or just don't even use this, because it will go by your own setups if you want. So it will just go by what you have in your party instead of what you have here. Because that's less likely to screw other players over, because of the simple fact that you're not going to want to screw yourself over unless you just don't care. Not to mention, it'll go by the 12 teams that you have, basically. But, anyways, second thing, I'm still not getting on to the obvious thing that popped up on the main screen. What I am getting into is this element of choice gacha, which I'm not pulling, but unfortunately, it is one of the better options if you're trying to do something here. And I don't think they have it listed here. I think I gotta go to the literal gacha screen. Yeah. The Element Festa. If you're aiming for specific characters or specific Eidolons, this is definitely the best time to do it, because we'll get to the other gacha, which is even better, where it's not even RNG related to an extent. But these will cut out all the other elements. So say I wanted to go for Monogarmer, which I do, I just don't have the money for right now. I would go to the light one, and there would be no dark weapons or Eidolons, no thunder weapons or Eidolons, no wind ones, no fire, no water, just light. And it also gives you 2 SR guaranteed, which I do believe ups the chances of SSR appearing for those two specific pools, but I don't know for sure. But the fact that it cuts out all the R ones means you got a better chance of getting something decent right out the gate anyways. Because some of the SR stuff is actually pretty good. That includes Kamihimes. Heck, that even includes Eidolons too, because some SR Eidolons is actually worth using, just in some very specific situations. Some will come with an elemental resistance towards the element they have. It's not exactly a bad idea to get a fire Eidolon that gives you more fire resistance. So that's the thing to know. But this is definitely your best chance for that, because what happens in these situations is that the rates of pulling a specific rarity do not change, but what's in that rarity, that changes. So it naturally just increases your chances of getting something. So say there's like 28 Eidolons or so in the gacha. Well, 28 SR Eidolons in the gacha. Well, now that there's only just the 2 elements, it's cut down to like maybe 3 or 4. So that's what I'm getting at. It's definitely your best chance of doing anything. Now, I don't know you can do these more than once. Nope, it says it right here, 1 time only. So, yeah, you only get 1 shot, but it is your better chance of it. And quite frankly, I think that's the reason why they keep doing this 1 time only, because it's happened before. That's because it makes it a lot easier to do that, because if I've calculated the, as a matter of fact, I can see it right here, because I can go to the odds section and see it right there. Okay, so you have a 3% chance of pulling SSR, and that's generally split between a 1.5% chance for the Dolan or 1.5% chance for the SSR weapons. So that pretty much means you have a 0.75% chance to pull something extremely good out of this, because you'll either get Monogarmer or the God Kaiser out of that. So that's more or less what I'm getting at. And then it might be a little bit of a different story for the wind one. So it makes it substantially easier to do that, because otherwise you're fighting with, okay, say all of the elements had at least 4 SSR Eidolons of each element. So that would, instead of a 1 out of 4 chance when an SSR Eidolon appears, it would be 1 out of 28 chance. So you divide that 1.5% by 28. So playing rarity numbers and whatnot, yeah, this is one of your better chances of getting something specific. So it can be worth doing. So consider that. Now, on to the main one, which we're seeing right now. And this is the reason why I wanted to wait for a minute, because it's going to be I'm going to be going through this quite a bit, but not the full extent. Now, of course, 5,000 star coins in order to get in there. There is 2 limitations on this thing. Now, when you get your miracle ticket, it will let you pick any Eidolon or Kamihime that's in this list. The limitations of what can make this list: nothing after the February 21st, if I remember correctly, from a previous thing I've seen, and nothing that's limited. So, say Light Nikke, not here, or one of the collaboration characters like Cow Cow, or I call her Karen because that's how they did it there. She's not here. So that's the whole thing with that. Otherwise, it could be substantial to pick an SR character you may be missing that's limited. So that's something to know. But when it comes to these miracle tickets, best to use on SSR Kamihime. And if not them, one of the Kaisers, because they are hands down, without a doubt, the best sub-Eidolons in the game. They have the most stats out of any Eidolon, period. And that is even way further down the line. So even going into the Eidolon section, these Dragoons are stupidly strong. I have 3 of them. This one even has 1 star. I think maybe 2. But that's the whole thing with this one. Like, I have this one and it's strong. I have these 2 and they're still pretty strong. And if I was to work on more, I'd probably be getting this one with Eidolon Orbs next, because they're not Eidolon Orb shop too, but it takes like 10,000 just to get one. And you only get 1 of each element, period. So, but these are very, very powerful Eidolons. If you are going to use your miracle ticket on an Eidolon, absolutely make sure it's one of these Dragoons. Mainly towards the element that you're strong with. My strongest element is light. I would probably get this God Kaiser. But say you don't want to do that for some strange reason, then you may want to consider these Eidolons here and these ones here. Because anybody past that's got special conditions, like Hecaton and Huang Long, they can increase character attack and HP, which is kind of decent. Jabberwock's ability damage, so's Fenrir. This one's item drop rates. This one's ability damage. I think this one was Burst Streak. Because the ones with Burst Streak is only going to help the final hit. Those are very iffy and situational ones, so I wouldn't even pick anybody from the 4th one onward if you're going to use it on that. Personally, I wouldn't even pick it for anybody but the Dragoons if you're going to waste a miracle ticket on that Eidolon. But that's because these come with elemental attack and they come with multiple elements. Like these 2 both boost dark, but this one boosts thunder with dark. This one boosts fire with dark. I talked about her earlier. This one is fire and water. This one's thunder and light. These two right here, Behemoth and Take, they boost 3 elements. So they won't go to 60% elemental attack, they'll go to 50. But they boost 3 elements. They will cover multiple elements. So, say you want to cover multiple teams, that's your fastest way of doing it. Instead of trying to get 100% Idolans for all 3 teams, even though that is the better option. But that's the main reason why you probably wouldn't want to use this anyways on Idolans, because you know the 100% Idolans. The only ones that'd be immune to it anyways are Dragoons, because 100% Idolans would go in the main slot. Dragoons are not meant to be in the main slot, because the Dragoons come with seriously good summon effects, and their main effect is absolute crap, in fact. So that's something to know. But here's the main reason why anybody gets these miracle tickets anyways, which honestly everybody should do if you are putting money towards this game. If you are a free player, you are missing out on quite a lot. Believe me, this is like the 4th or 5th miracle ticket that's shown up. But anyways, we have a whole bunch of Kamihime right here that are very strong just on the first page. I'm not even going to go into full details, but I'll mention a lot of them I know for a fact are strong or can be. Like this one definitely can be. This one is strong. This one sort of could be, and I just don't know about that one. All of these ones can be. You just got to use them correctly. But your best shot is Amaterasu on this list. Even though Susano, Thor, and Akala can all awaken as well. That's another thing too. Some of them can definitely awaken. I'm going to leave a list pretty much showing off, well, a list that will lead off to all the ones that's in the SSR section, but it goes by the Japanese version of this game on DMM, so just look at that if any of these guys interest you, and then just go from there. If I'm going to use a ticket, I'm probably going to use it on one of these Unleashed characters I don't have. Like, I don't have Nikki Unleashed, I don't have Bao Unleashed. I might get one of them too, because I've been wanting them quite a bit. My water team also has some good setups for certain stuff. I might get Cthulhu. There's still that. Or I could get Vahu Mana or something. Oriole is another good one I could probably get. It's like my choices. I got a few options if I really want to do that. Or I could also just say screw it and power up my light team even further. Because I think I have all the light SSR on this list. I haven't seen a single one I didn't have. Yeah, I don't have Bao Unleashed. That's another one I considered. And I do have to point out that Isis is an interesting one because she might be able to go off element because of her sorry about that, my voice was getting weird there. But Isis might be able to go off element because of her because she got a vigor buff. It's weird saying Isis given all the crap that actually happened out there in the world. But she comes with a vigor buff, which goes in its own separate section of the damage formula. So it'll be stuff like what your assault value is, times your elemental attack value is, times what your vigor value is, times your burst damage, stuff like that. That's where she has some potential to go off element, but I really wouldn't recommend it, because there'll be other ways to get vigor down the line. But some of these characters can indeed do that. I know Soul and Gaia definitely could. But I will say this, you shouldn't even go anywhere past the 17th page. If you're going to use the miracle ticket, use it on an SSR. There is no point using it on an SR because there is nothing limited. All this stuff is permanently in the gacha. On this and this list. The Idolin list. So, regardless of what happens, try to pick an SSR character. Or Idolin. If you don't want a character. But it's recommended to go get a character because a lot of these characters are very strong. And some like this one down here on this bottom of this list, they're already decent or very strong. And they'll get stronger down the line. Because either they'll awaken, or like her specifically, their skills will get reworked and become even better. These two are monstrous together. when she gets buffed up. So that's something to know. Now, this is going to be the last part of this video because I more or less want to make the most out of this. So, those of you that have seen my Tower of Malice videos, I ended up stopping at the 11th floor. I probably could have attempted the 12th, but I said screw it because, quite frankly, I'm not trying to burn through 1 or 2 keys just to try to finish it off. I just took my medals and ran. I don't know if my ranking has changed. Depending on how low it might end up being, I may or may not get some stuff. Like, whoa, I dropped to 807th. Whoa, I was not expecting that. I was 315 when I seen that. So yeah, I only get 3,000, which means I'm still short another freaking 30. Oh boy. So yeah, maybe I should have attempted it just trying to get the measly little 30 medals. But attempted with what? I've used all my best teams, basically. Anything to prevent me from getting it a 4th time. Anything to prevent me from getting it a 4th time. I can't believe I'm short that many medals. That is bogus. I'm short 30 medals from getting this a 4th time. So, yeah. I still got a substantial medal amount just from that because these are the tower medals I've earned, which is 6,700. And I got another 3,000 from the rankings. So with just me clearing the 11th floor, I've gotten almost 10,000. Very, very nice. But this is why I wanted to go here in the tower medal shop. Unfortunately, it takes 3,000 medals each time I want to get this. So I'm short 30 freaking medals for one of them. Meaning I can only do this 3 times. Again. But that's still a lot I can get from the 3 times. If I was able to get it 4 times, it would have been extended a little bit more. Now, I've gave my suggestions on what I wanted to get, what I would or wouldn't get from this list. I don't really care too much about stuff right here, but this is what I'm getting, and this is why I said I needed 3,000 medals. Because I would have had a 4 freaking trade if I had 30 more medals. So what I got, 5 premium gacha tickets, 2 Kamihime weapon gacha tickets, and an SR or higher gacha ticket. 3 times. I would have been able to do that 4 times. So I got 24 tickets. I could have had 32. So now, without further ado, I'm going to be pulling on camera. I don't know how these are going to be, but we will see. And I'm going to start off with the most potent tickets first. I don't even know what the odds are, but we're about to find out. Oh, they removed the odds. You sneaky little whatever. And I got to pull these one by one? Okay. So these are all gold doors. Whether or not the gold orb is going to transform, I don't know. We'll see. It did not. But these are my better chances of getting something new because I have almost everything that's R rarity related. So it's SR stuff I got bigger holes in, and SSR, which I got the biggest holes in. So and unfortunately, it didn't do anything. Not to mention, if I pull that Doan, chances are it's coming out as a +1. Weapons may not. Because Doans at SR rarity almost always pop out with a +1. I've noticed. Yes, I didn't get anything new. The Fulgur shooter, I know it was a Kamihime. I just forgot which one. Oh well, the SR tickets got a dud. I would have had a 4th one, but like I said, I am short 30 medals. I'm not letting that go. Now for the Kamihime weapon gacha tickets. And there's 6 of them. So what that means is I will never pull an Idolan out of these ones specifically. However, this is an R rarity, and I don't know if it's going to be anybody new, so I'm hitting the skip button. If it cuts to If it cuts to the orb releasing something, then yeah, that means I got something new. So if I don't see a gold door, I'm skipping. It'll let me know if I got somebody new. Although half these items that pop up in the R section really could have gotten removed because we can get them from Gym Gacha. Which I haven't pulled yet, by the way. Okay, that's a weapon I don't see too often, but I know I have that Kamihime. Fun fact, I haven't even used her, ever. I did level her up, but I never used her. And skip. Okay, I'm gonna get a few gold doors from this. I just don't know if anything good's gonna pop up. See, case in point. And if we're not getting the new animation, apparently I've already had them. Remember, these are Kamihime weapon tickets, so if nothing new pops up, that means I had them. Keep in mind, I have 200 Kamihime. And this one SSR. Oh! So I would have gotten Cybele again. Some people might be pissed about that, because Cybele is very good for win. But hey, I'll take it. It means I can get her weapon even stronger, because it's also one of the ones I'm using. And this is the main reason why I want to take it, because if it isn't SSR that pops up, I get Dragonic Eyes. Remember the miracle ticket I mentioned? 150 Dragonic Eyes will get you an unrestricted miracle ticket. Now, I don't know if it has been confirmed, but that miracle ticket, pick anything that's been in the game. Any Abdolin, any weapon. Even if they were limited. I would easily get Monogarmer with that thing if I had it. But yeah, see, this is the reason why I kind of like this weapon. You see how good it is. And it doesn't even have Final Break yet. But good, very good amount of assault. It can go up to 16% so far. And I can get 10% HP with it. Stuff like that's why my light team's so beast. Because double effect weapons are not to be trifled with. And there will be triple effect ones later down the line. There will be triple effect ones later down the line. What I mean by that is they'll take the two effects and merge them into one skill and then give another skill on top of that. So, say you'll have Assault and Defender, merge into one skill, then they'll do it again with something else. I could draw multiple, but I'm not going to. I'm going to one by one these things. See, I got somebody new when I hit the skip button. Huh. A glasses wearing cowgirl? Okay, I'll take it. I guess. She is cute. But when it comes to our characters, I don't really use them too much. I hope she has something that's a little bit worthwhile. Wait, why am I not hitting skip? Whoops. Although I do love Nige's pool animation. I could batch all this to speed it up, but let's do this for the suspense. I don't think it's really changing my rates on anything anyways. Because if you use 10 tickets, I don't think you're going to get a guaranteed SR. I don't. But if I do hit it by mistake, since they want to put it as a top option, then yeah. I still gotta okay it, but if it happens, I'll just say screw it. Because it doesn't even necessarily have to be 10. It'll also be like 9 or something. Edge King. I swear I keep seeing that weapon so much. I don't even know whose weapon that is. If it is. Because I think there's R and SR weapons that don't give you a Kamihime, even if you didn't have it before. I should be hitting skip. Yeah, sometimes the loading takes a while. And I'm pretty sure that's a Kamihime weapon. I see that in the gym gacha all the time, though. But then again, Gym Gacha's got a lot of R weapons in there. It's just the fact that most of them don't carry a Kamihime. Well, not even most, really. More like half. Like this. Definitely a Kamihime weapon. Definitely in the Gym Gacha. It's stuff like that I kind of just don't like because it's like dead pools. With enough gems, you'll get everything in the Gym Gacha, period. I had that before. I think that's a Fire Elios weapon? Because I think Fire Elios was one of the permanent ones. I think. There's a few characters that got redone, but they were left as permanent. I think Fire Elios is one of them. Because I know Fire Beelzebub definitely is. Well, I did get something new, so yeah. And honestly, I have no regrets about getting these tickets because I know it's still a gamble. It's free gambles, thankfully, but the other thing is the fact that I still hate the fact that I was really short 30 medals from doing another 8 pulls. Like, you've got to be kidding me. But then again, this is free tickets, and they threw me an SSR weapon. A very powerful character from that weapon, matter of fact, but I've already had her. So, yeah. And then they still threw me a new Kamihime anyway, so... I got a +1. I'm getting quite a few gold doors now that I'm really looking at it, so I'm not surprised that they get an SSR. But I did get somebody new right here. Sakuna Kona, I don't know how to pronounce her, but I know she recently came out. She's one of the ones you can't pick with the miracle ticket. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm pretty sure she's one of the ones you can't pick with a miracle ticket. So I would have gotten a Kamihime of every rarity. And keep that in mind, this is free. Sometimes your luck is there. You just gotta try it. Besides, I don't have too much I'm really going to use those break limit items on anyways. Because, well, quite frankly, I don't necessarily need them. I mean, granted, it can get my light grid even more powerful. Because I can go break limit something I don't have too many copies of. Like, I can, for instance, could have gotten Shimasa's bulk upgraded a little bit more. But like I said, I don't necessarily need it because I'm not trying to make it a point to try and go that hard on it just for one measly little specific item when I can get a whole bunch of them. Yeah, that's the end of that one. So, okay, let's see here. I've got to go accept a crap ton of gifts, in fact. But I got to see what these new Kamihime do, just to go over that. Because some of them can surprise you. Some of them have some very good stuff. I know some R characters that I would still absolutely use if they wasn't overwritten by stronger rarities. Because some of them are monstrously good. Like Konohana Sakia from the Fire Realm department. Very, very good R character you can get in the Gym Gacha. She heals and comes with a strong debuff. Unfortunately, she's overwritten by both Amaterasu and Yamaraja, who has a strong enough debuff in the same frame. But oh, guess what? They also come with other abilities and their SSR, meaning they're going to be more powerful in the end. The higher the rarity, the generally more powerful they will end up being. And it definitely shows when you try to use burst. Okay, so let's start with the R girl. Huh, she's tricky. A water tricky character? Okay. Boy, aren't you confident in that little animation. Mode gate reduction up to all allies. So she's good for raging meter right there. Applies dizziness. I guess the rate up is going to be when they're raging or something like that. I don't know. But 10 to turn cooldown is kind of eh. She could be okay, but I don't know. Eh. Honestly, the more I look at her, the hotter she seems. But it's that's all she really has going for her. Just her looks. Her skill set isn't all that great. I mean, it can be helpful with the gun. I got another person that handles raging meters pretty nicely, but still. Okay, now this one's balanced. Jeez, I keep getting a lot of axe characters lately. She puts attack down on herself when she bursts? That's not cool. But this... Eesh. Okay, see, she's like a miniature version of Hercules, but with some support capability. Because let's put it this way. Herc's ability set has a stackable buff, just doesn't take her HP every time you use it. Deals damage based on the number of buffs she has. Herc can do that too, it's one of Herc's strongest points. Applies regen to herself. Herc can do that. But unlike Herc, she'll also give affliction resistance up to everybody as well. I don't know if it's going to apply regen to everybody. It's definitely going to apply to herself, which she needs. She needs to recover something if she's consuming her HP every 3 freaking turns. But, which, to be quite honest, Tish Tria does as well. And her affliction resistance is up. Her skill set has some worth, but at the same time it doesn't. Especially this, like, when you go bursting with her, her attack goes down. Is it because that's 4 pluses? Because if that's the case, I do believe her burst is on par with SSR characters. It just has that drawback to kind of counter it because she's not meant to be that strong with it. It's weird. It's just weird. And I did pull SSR Sabel's weapon too. I'm not going to show what she does, but I will mention that she's very, very strong if you are considering using her for the miracle ticket. But yeah. Let me see my weapon box. Okay, I got 200. I'm saving a whole bunch of these. Like, see, yeah. If I really wanted to, this is something I could have did with the, with 10,000 coins. I could have gotten this to, like, all the way up to level 125 if I wanted to. I mean, I could have done a few things, but I chose not to. That's the whole thing with that. And that did pay off quite a bit, because I got a Draconic Eye, I got 2 new characters, even if I'm not going to use them. So that's more magic gems, of course. But yeah. And oh boy. See, I never took the time to really go out there and try and final break a lot of these weapons. Even though I kind of could in some cases, because I just need to level them up. Like, this weapon right here, it is so set for final break. This one, once I level it up, can get final breaking. Excuse me. I could have used the 10,000 coins to get this so I could final break this, but, I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to do that anyways. But there was one thing I kind of did want to confirm if it was possible. Where if I could actually get one of those things in order to get one of these weapons, another star, but I'll just grind out for them anyways. What I would suggest doing, though, if you did have one of the phantom weapons drop from the Ragnarok fights that we just recently got, That's where I would actually consider getting one of those bricks to upgrade it, because the 10,000 tower coin for that is without a doubt probably the best idea. Those phantom weapons are rare. Very, very rare. If you've gotten one, you have some extreme luck. Because I will probably say this, it might actually be harder to get one of those weapons than to pull 100% Idoan. It might be harder to get one of those weapons than to pull a specific Kamihime twice in a row. And I mean a specific SSR Kamihime twice in a row. That's how rare those weapons are. They have a pitiful drop rate. It's at least below 0.1%. I'm pretty sure of it. So that's where the brick might actually help you out on that one. I don't know why they brought me back to her. But anyways, that's all for this. Considering we're still in the middle of the one event, the Nandi event, that's another thing too. You can still pretty much grind that out or whatnot. You should have been doing it anyways, because there's some decent stuff there, like I mentioned in another video. Like I said, double check your Idoan's settings and all that type of stuff, because you might want to go over that. And please, please, I highly suggest this to you. If you are adding money to this game, get this ticket. It is your best gacha ever. Ever. That you will ever find in this game. There is only one case that will beat it out, and that's if you somehow get the 150 Dragonic Eyes to get the special miracle ticket. Unlike this, you won't get an extra 10 pulls with it. But the special miracle ticket should be way less restricted. So, that said, I'm going to start doing a little bit more on this, because I haven't done my daily pulls yet for the gem gacha. Not to mention I'm going to restock the supply anyways. And then on top of that too, I've got to go through some experience stuff, because hey, guess what? Hercules has almost got all of her stat increases. I've almost got enough mastery points in order to get her stat increases. I just need one more. So I will be hopefully feeding mastery experience to other souls. I think I'm going to go with Arthur next, because I'm more than likely to use Arthur than anybody else aside from Hercules. But anyways, that's all for this video. More of this is going to come soon. If you guys want, I might end up doing Senshi's Revenge or Flower Knight Girl. I've been getting some responses with Flower Knight Girl anyways on some videos, so there's that. But if I do Flower Knight Girl, it's going to be slow as fuck. Puffin no longer is free if you're using a computer. If you're using a phone, it still can be free, because it'll just run this one ad, just sit through it, and you won't have to go through another ad for a long time. But Puffin pulled some crap where you actually have to pay to use it now. It is still cheap, but I'd still rather it be free since it already is on the phone. Just run some advertisements or something, guys. But unfortunately, yeah, Puffin is no longer free, so I would have to find another browser that will play Flash games pretty fast and pretty decently, because if I try to play it on Google Chrome, for some reason, it will run slow as molasses. It will be slow. So, you'll have to painfully sit through stuff. Remember, if I had some videos where I can just instantly clear a Flower Knight Girl stage in like, say, 5 to 20 seconds, it will take 5 to 20 minutes now. I may not even be exaggerating on the minutes part. It will definitely take 5 minutes, trust me. But anyways, that's all for this, guys. Like I said, more of this to come soon. More of other things to come soon. I probably will touch, I probably will finish up the beta demo of Crisscross Chronicles pretty soon, because I've sat that on hiatus for so long. But that's all for now, guys. Take care.